jump right into it, right? So I feel like I'm going to start with saying this. Sports is a player's game now. Like it's basketball is a player's game, football is a player's game. Nobody really care about the coaches anymore. Like, and I feel like a lot of the coaches can't really take that in right now. That they feel like they're not in control. So now some are upset about players jumping in the transfer portal, and then some aren't.
Everyone after me, like what happened before this. I cannot ignore this. There's never good mornings. So whenever the sun hides, I'll be ready for fun time. Like that one time, my cousins and I, Michelle, Autumn, and Zazie got lit at that mansion party. I mixed Henny and vodka. My stomach was tripping, but bet I was litty. See, I got a lot of youth in me. I'm maybe 27, but know that I'm hella silly. I'm ready to turn on whenever. If you with me, you better forget all your problems, cause tonight we about to go harder. Just prepare for hangover tomorrow.
Shout out to our partner Obsidian by Magma Capital Funds. They're a hedge fund built exclusively for current and former professional athletes.
Obsidian works hard to change the investing game for athletes. They strive to perform well in all environments, just like you. All right, everybody, welcome to the Law of Athlete podcast. Yet another episode, and this time we got our man Cam Spence on the set from the DMV, defensive line specialist. You played some college football yourself, so you inherited into the game pretty much. So thank you for coming out on behalf of Tay, Seb, myself. Thanks again.
Nah, no problem. Thank y'all for having me, man.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you like this, bro. I'm blind right now, and I'm going to tell you why I'm blind. Because Jesus is on your chest right now. Do you see the diamonds on that man right there?
Hey, easy,
that
easy,
man got
easy.
I didn't know you was talking
Yeah,
about
I was
hey, my man got the bust down chain on.
It's a little something I got from my godfather, man. R.I.P. Walter Stewart, man. You know, he left this to me, so yeah. Just try to carry on the legacy.
I feel you, man. He left you with some yeah.
Big boy stuff right here.
Yeah,
Who are you, the baby? Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, shout out to him, girls.
Look at your chain.
Nah.
Born ready.
Yeah, I was born ready. That's a whole nother level already right there. That's a different tax bracket right there. I ain't knowing that right there.
So something that has been going on throughout college athletics that we felt is like important to talk about and put our input on it, all as, former college players, football, basketball, is the transfer portal. It's been going crazy, but we know everybody transfers for different reasons. So there's about over 1,000 kids in there right now, and everybody has a different story as to why they're transferring, what it means to them, how coaches feel about it. Everybody has an opinion. So today we're going to give our little opinion on it.
That's facts. For sure. Got a lot to say about it.
So let's go.
We're going to jump right into it. So, we're going to jump right into it, right? So, I feel like I'm going to start with saying this. Sports is a player's game now. Like, it's basketball is a player's game. Football is a player's game. Nobody really care about the coaches anymore. And I feel like a lot of the coaches can't really take that in right now. They feel like they're not in control. So now some are upset about, players jumping in the transfer portal, and then some aren't. And at the same time, a lot of the players, they have good reasons for doing it. Don't get me wrong. But out of those 1,000 people, how many really gonna make it to the league? Yeah. Whose situation really gonna change from them going to the transfer portal? Right. Let's really be real about it. And a lot of I feel like there's a lot of Division I players transferring, which is kind of trickling down to the other divisions like D2, D3, who want to transfer as well, and they can't because schools are looking for those D1 transfers. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, I'm gonna just use my school as an example, right? Concordia College D2, we're shutting down this year. They just closed the school down.
Shut it down?
Wow.
Yes, they just closed my school down. Iona College. I don't know if y'all know Iona.
I know Iona.
They was big. They
We
big on
played in
basketball. Y'all played them?
my very first game as a freshman
What'd
was
you do?
against Iona. I came off the bench and I had 4 points.
Hey, that's solid though, nah.
Hey, that's that freshman. My very first bucket in college, I came down. My coach was like, "What is she doing?" I said, "Ooh."
Euro, jelly, and one.
I don't remember if it was an and one or not, but my very first play, I had just got in the game too. I'm like, shit, I've been sitting here. I'm finna take off. I took off. I got the ball. It was like a rebound, and I just went. I took it coast to coast, just boop, boop.
In 2 minutes, you coming out.
No, I played a decent amount of minutes. It wasn't the fact, but it was just like I was a freshman.
Right.
It wasn't nothing like against me.
But nah, so Iona is basically buying my school. Like they literally bought the school. So
to expand the campus, or
yeah, I don't. They probably gonna make it into dorms or something because it's like 5 to 10 minutes away.
Okay.
But like basically, they bought it, and all the kids at Concordia, they're not about to. Iona's not like we want those kids to come hoop with us. Like you feel me? Rick Pitino's the coach there. Let's with that.
Yeah.
We can talk about that
and
later.
They made
That's wicked.
the tourney.
But yeah, they made a tourney. But like those kids don't have anywhere to go. So they were forced to put their name into the portal, right? And I talked to them. I talked to a few of them the other day, and they was just like, other D2 schools is just like, nah, we're not really looking for no D2 players right now. We're looking for D1 transfers.
That's what typically happens,
That's
though. If you
crazy.
can't play at the D1 level, a lot of them go to D2 in hopes of getting back to a D1 school, though. Like, I'm going to go here, ball out, drop like however many.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess let's not be mistaken, though. D2s are really good, too.
Don't get it confused.
Yeah,
nah. Y'all be like trying to come.
Some top D2 programs where I was watching Howard play this year, and I think they lost to 2 D2 programs in one tournament. And it's not to say that they lost to D2 programs, but it was the fact that a lot of those D2 programs probably had transfers from D1 schools or anything, or they could just flat out ball. Like, they were good.
I mean, you got to think, like, some people, situations be different coming out of high school. Like, you know, feel me? Like, it's a lot of D2 players that don't belong at the D2 level. There's a lot of D1 players that don't belong at the D1 level.
Right.
You feel me? It depends on where you come from, politics involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of D2 players may not have the grades, so they had to go there. I know with international kids, I don't even think they can go D1. It's something like international.
What do you mean they can't go from D2 to D1?
I don't think they can come to this country and go play D1 basketball.
They can.
International players, yes, they can.
I know. What was his name? Daniel. Was it Falele? He came from Australia and he transferred to IMG Academy. He did like the little post grad year. Played probably like he didn't even get to play on the team. But he got a scholarship to Minnesota. Now he's playing at Minnesota. This kid's from Australia, so. I'm not sure how the rules work, but I think you got to get some sort of
you have to get like your
visa or something like that.
Yeah, you have to get a visa. I had teammates from Greece.
For real?
Yes, one of my teammates. Her name was Cleo Polyzou. She's from Greece. I had another teammate, Abby. She's from Canada.
Were they older? Were they old?
Yes.
No.
I said
that. The right age, but she played on like the Greece national team. So she came over from
cheating.
It's not cheating.
They pros.
Not over there. They're a pro, but when you come here, that's technically their form of high school.
Right. Because one of my teammates, even in college, he was from Australia. He came in as a punter, but he was a 25-year-old freshman. I was like,
that's vicious.
We had somebody at Maryland.
I'm 25 now.
We had Wade Lease at University of Maryland. He was 31 and a redshirt sophomore.
That's crazy.
31. You're really playing against a grown man.
Yeah. But he was a punter though. I see a lot of international football players are normally right now like punters and kickers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but you can't say that about basketball. Like, look at Michigan. They got all types of Wagners and stuff like that on their team every year.
They probably from here though.
They're not from here. They be coming. You can recruit from overseas. You get their film and you can recruit them from overseas.
Maybe, I don't know.
And going back to said point touching on like the D1, D2 players, they trying to transfer, but D2 schools aren't accepting them, and then D1 guys who may think, they come into college as a 4-star athlete. I just feel like now a lot of people feel like they're privileged and entitled to something and they don't want to work for it.
Right.
So when people go to college now and You know, I heard of a story. This one kid went to Alabama, and he came in 5-star athlete. You know, he thought he was all that. Felt like he did not deserve to sit. That he was just going to beat the Alabama system of having to wait and turn in line, and now he's not even there anymore. He's at like Middle Tennessee, and he went to Houston at first, I believe, and now he's at Middle Tennessee. So it's like you can't come into college now as, you know, high school kids and think you can't, you know, you're not going to have to work for your spot. Because we're in
But how much do you think that has to do with the generation today? Because it's like we're not that far off, 25, 26-year-olds. Oh, I don't know how old you are personally. But I feel like the generation today is a little more demanding, and they're rude, and I feel that about like younger kids a lot more. I'd be like,
we can say
like
that
talking back to the coaches. Like, no matter how I felt about my coach, I was raised to a way where it's like, you're my elder and I'm going to respect you. I'm not going to talk back, you know, about you to your face at least. And I feel like we see a lot more blatant like disrespect and stuff like that as well.
Well, think about why it's happening though. I think this is the start of the whole. I'm not even gonna say the transfer portal is a problem, but some people think it is. Yeah. But I feel like the whole recruiting process is so messed up right now. Like, it's like nobody even build relationships no more. Like,
it's fake.
And I feel like the players, they get it. They understand that. They see that shit right now. So it's like, all right, bro. It's about the bread.
It's
That's
a
what
business,
it's about.
though.
It's about the
money.
money.
And the players are looking at it as a business as well. Something said and I like touched on off camera is the fact that Roy Williams. I'm a UNC fan to the death of me, and he's, you know, he's retiring. And in his speech, he basically said he felt like he was no longer the right guy for the job. Like, that was his emphasis. And it was due to the fact that he's a relationship type of coach. He's a developer. And kids want to be one and done. Or they had this big post player. He came along towards the end of the year. His name is Kessler. But maybe he felt as though he wasn't getting enough minutes. Coach Williams is that type of coach where he's going to develop you and you leave and you back out after your freshman year.
Right. Yeah, that goes back. Just in today's society, everybody wants the quick, fast, easy way of doing things. We don't want to go through a process. Right. Like, you know, why can our great grandparents and grandfathers do that? You know what I'm saying? Grandmothers, they can go through their process and work hard, earn their keep, earn their right. Why can't we do the same? It's in our DNA as human beings. I mean, at the end of the day, we're human. We can't change that at all.
So who fault y'all think it is?
I don't think it's a fault. I think the leniency on being able to transfer and how easy it is now as well. Because I don't remember it being as easy or like as many players getting like a 5th year to play. Like, you hear about grad transfers now as well, getting an extra year to suit up. So I feel as though the process is just easier. And then this year with COVID, if you transfer, you got to play immediately. So people probably thinking that might happen again where I don't have to sit out a year. But I feel like you can't really put a fault on it because you don't know what happens inside of these programs. There's so many different scenarios that we can speak on, you know, today that might give some more clarification as to why, but you don't know everybody's situation.
I think social media can touch on it just a tad. Just from a personal standpoint, I've hearing just different kids in college and stuff like that, freshmen, and they be like, "Hey, my man just transferred to this school. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to do the same thing." Just because your man did it don't mean you know what I'm saying? You can do it too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like now social media is just everybody's starting to see somebody else doing something and figure that they can do it too. You know
Some people got to realize that the grass is not green on the other side.
Nope.
Like, you got to realize, you may transfer, but you got to understand college is a business. You're going to go into the damn near the same situation. You know, it may be a better, like, environment, but it's the same system. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to really ask yourself, if I leave, is it really worth me leaving? Like, really weigh out the pros and cons of going to another school based off what you got now. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like you said, it's not really anybody that's at fault. It's really just based off your particular situation. Like, okay, well, are you playing? Is there a reason why you're not playing? Maybe it's something that you was doing on the court or on the field that prevented you from playing. Or maybe it was stuff that you was doing off the field. Or are you actually better than the person that's playing in front of you? You know what I'm saying? And if you're not better than the person that's playing in front of you, you got to ask yourself, well, if I leave, if I'm really not that great and I leave, are you going to succeed at that other school? Do you know in your heart that you're going to succeed? Because if you know that you're really just not that great player and a school took a shot on you and gave you a scholarship, bro, to be honest, you do what you need to do for that team to help that team win and get that free education and live your life, because a lot of people don't get that. And some people from Division I schools, they ask to transfer. Oh, my bad. Some people from Division I schools, they ask to transfer and they want to leave. But it was like, okay, you leave, but now you go to a D2 school. So it's like, yo, like, because you was so, you got to ask yourself, did I put in the work? Now I'm ready to leave, and I go to a lower school that don't have the resources that I was blessed with when I went to the Division I school. It's like, it's based on your situation. Like, you didn't have to leave. You chose to leave because of your own pride and your own ego and the things that you feel like you deserve. But you got to ask yourself, do you really deserve it? Did you really put the work in to get what you deserve? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And then another underlying condition under that, especially for football, I have a lot of, since I'm a defensive line training specialist, I deal with, all college, pro, all that. So especially with the college guys, the younger ones, the freshmen, the sophomores, they want to transfer. But I'd be like, okay, you want to transfer. Now, mind you, I didn't get a chance to play at Maryland, but ended up being a slight coach for a certain amount of time at Maryland. So I got to see the recruiting process, how that goes. I cut up all the film for the coaches and stuff like that. These coaches don't care if you was a 4-star in high school and you didn't play at all. You don't have any film. What is a coach going to do with you if you have no film? That means they don't
No
get to
college
see,
film is what you
no
mean?
college
Yeah,
film.
okay.
So what are they going to do if you don't have that college film? Football is about what have you done for me lately. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why
For any sport.
Yeah, for any sport for real. But especially like young kids, they don't understand that these days, that you cannot transfer if you don't have any film. It's going to be very hard, and then you're going to have to go to D2, put your ego aside, and just ball out there. You're still going to get a shot. At the end of the day, now it's social media helps you out.
They gonna find you.
Yeah, they're going to find you if you're good. So you need to put your ego aside if you want to transfer and you don't have no film. Put your ego aside, go to D2, work hard, and produce.
Or go to JUCO.
Think about from the players now. I get y'all from that side, but think about from the player side though, right? You seeing these dudes in the league getting handed money like it's nothing, right? And you got a player that he got to think about. Like, I mean, I know your growing up situation. We wasn't struggling. You know what I'm saying? So making it to the league wasn't like, all right, we got to do this. You know what I'm saying? So like, some players it is like that. And you got them handing out a check, and you seeing kids. First of all, it starts in high school. Like, your chance to go to the league start in high school. If you getting that buzz, like, look at Markelle Fultz. We knew he was going to the league because of what? His junior year in high school. College didn't even matter. You don't even got to. That's what I'm saying. You don't even have to go to college no more, bro.
Right.
Like, NCAA is in trouble, bro. Like, you don't got to go to college.
and they making all these different leagues
The
now for like players
LaMelo
to go.
Ball.
Right.
Look at LaMelo. He kind of
Open the door
put
for
the
some
NCAA on thin ice because he didn't even go to college. He went overseas. He's getting paid.
I mean,
to
but
play
a
pro
player like Brandon Jennings did that.
Okay, yeah, but how many
Yeah.
players back then really was doing that?
Yeah, and I understand that, but I just feel like you said, social media is putting it more on blast. And then kids who are transferring, I would like to see the statistics and numbers. Is it freshmen? Is it sophomores, juniors, seniors? What percentage of these kids are transferring? If it's freshmen, then and you went into school this year, you didn't really give your program a chance. It was COVID. You didn't get the training that you would necessarily get, like summer school and stuff like that. If you're a sophomore, it's like, okay, freshman year didn't work out, sophomore year, it's like, all right, I've had enough, or it's really not working for me. And then I also want to know, perspective wise, how many are thinking, am I going into a better academic situation? Because it's not all about the sport, especially for women. When you transfer, it's about getting that degree.
Right.
There's only 12 teams in the WNBA.
Yeah.
As far as NBA, we've I've heard this on a broadcast. It's only 400 spots in the league, so everybody's not making it at the end of the day. Like let's put it that way.
But they got the G League now.
Yeah, okay. We have the G League. You have overseas and stuff like that. But I think the fact of the matter is, it's like a lot of those kids who transferred, they probably still aren't going to make it.
Right.
Just because of numbers, or we would need some type of league expansion, or I mean, overtime is making a league, but that's for high schoolers.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
overtime is
I'm
making a
trying to
league.
play.
Yeah, no,
Overtime
overtime is making. They're making like a league for the top like high school players in the country, and they're gonna pay them to play.
All right, that's my
So
point.
money
It's
is the
money,
capital.
bro.
Yeah, money rules.
So how can you really blame these kids for really trying to get out where they should be getting paid from their likeness, first of all? Because most of these kids going to certain schools, like, you know.
I had this conversation with somebody, though, and it's like, how do you fairly compensate, though?
No.
How do you fairly compensate the person on the end of the bench as opposed to the person who's playing at
It's not fair.
Duke and the
I don't
national
think you do.
Yeah.
It was
don't
never
think-
fair from the beginning, though.
I don't think you
Getting
do
scholarship.
like compensate everybody. What happens is, I feel as though yes, players should be paid for their likeness and their name because that's their name. Like this, you're making money off of me. Every player shouldn't be able to make bread. What I think, and I truly believe, as a person that had their own business in college and all that other stuff, I truly believe that if a player wanted to use their name to promote a product to get paid off of it, they should be able to do that.
They allowed that now.
Right. Yeah, they allow that now, but back then they didn't. And people was like, should players get paid? Yes, I think they should get paid in that situation. If a player wanted to, they shouldn't. I mean, go to a club and be obviously like the person that get paid for their appearance. They should be able to do that. That's their name. They can do that. But paying everybody for a game, particularly, no, that should not happen. But you should be able to figure out how to make money with the name that you have, the name that you was born with, and the face that you have. Like, you should be able to do that. Or for fact of the matter, like, if the school's selling your jersey and they making millions of dollars, you should be able to see a portion of that.
Yeah.
If other people, if they not getting their jersey sold, obviously because you wasn't that great of a player to get your jersey sold. Like, it's that simple. Like, but the people that they're getting $1 million off of, they should be able to get a portion of it. That's it. Like, but everybody shouldn't get paid on a team. Like, somebody that's a third string that ain't playing, you gonna pay him the same amount that you paying the starter? Like,
I think that's the perspective, and that's the runaround that the NCAA gives as to why they don't play players is because of that, because there is no fairness in it, and they try to abide by fair rules and stuff like that to go to school. A scholarship is quote unquote enough.
But I think if they do the paying, like if they try to test that out, it's gonna be no difference from playing college than in the NFL or college in the NBA. It's no difference because it's like, well, what's the point of going to college then? Like, I could just go to the G League or I could just go overseas.
saying.
Like, what's the point of going to college? What, for
I
the
swear,
education? Like, if I know how to make money with my name and my likeness, what's the point of going to college?
Well, I think if you do that, then you do eliminate the players who are only going to stay for 1 year, taking up a scholarship spot that could have went to somebody else anyway, who's going to be a 4-year player or who should be, there for at least 3 years. You do that, you eliminate the one and done, that scholarship spot that was held for, a person who's going to college because they are required to for 1 year, and then they up out of there. And I feel like maybe that will transform the game a little bit.
Yeah, that's true, because I know from just like a college standpoint, the goal is how long can they keep you at that school, because they want to get their money's worth. Like, they want to keep you there. They want to make sure you eligible to obviously help them make more money for the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they getting paid based off your performance. So you're right. They would probably weed out the people that they know, he going to be one and done. Instead of wasting $50,000 on his scholarship, we can give it to somebody that we know going to be able to utilize that whole 4 years. That's more promising for us to still make money for the university.
But do that person that do 4 years really bring in more bread than that person that's one and done?
Yeah, that's.
That's the tricky part. But my thing is, if they're gonna continue to find ways to not go to school anyway, you had the G League Ignite team full of 18-year-olds playing against the dudes in the G League who really is like, they're mad about it because they're like, this 18-year-old kid is taking away my salary. They're taking away the way I put food on the table exactly. And I understand that. But
so
that's
why
where
waste
the
that time in
difference
school
maker
where
is.
you can get hurt and then you can't? That's what it's like. That's what another thing. It's just like,
well, yeah, I see
why
what
they
you saying.
doing it,
Yeah,
bro.
I
It's
see what
like,
you
bro,
saying.
if I play in college, I'm gonna go to. If I go to school, bro, there's a chance I can go ahead and get hurt. And when people get hurt nowadays, is over. Like, people are like, all right, on to the next. Like, that's what the culture is. Culture is on to the next.
I mean,
no patience.
that's what it is about coaches as well. That's why I feel like they shouldn't really be upset about the transfer portal. Because if anything, you just go and look through like that everybody else. Well, I'm
It's like Tinder.
gonna just start recruiting him. Yeah.
And I feel like when y'all go to just with the transfer portal, I feel like that and making money. Now everybody wants to make money and how there are different leagues and G leagues and stuff like that. I feel like that's better for a basketball perspective. But when it comes with football, listen, you can't go from high school to the NFL. It's grown men in the NFL stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it takes some years to get that weight training in. You know what I'm saying? That football IQ that an NFL person has. I know you may have the natural raw ability, but hey, a receiver in high school and a linebacker in the NFL, he will knock your head off, Slim.
No, real.
It's an easier transition for
talk.
basketball players. That's 100%.
Real talk. We talked about that with Chubb. We talked about that, like that whole transition with football, basketball, the whole nine. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a few tweets that I had liked about transferring so we can get some perspectives in on those. Okay. All right, so I found one of the tweets. One of the tweets, most names in the portal are not delusional kids that think they're better than what they are. Those kids are far and few between. Most of these kids were incorrectly evaluated, like said, by college coaches pushed out to make room for new recruits or lied to during the recruiting process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
That's true,
man.
Or just it falsely evaluated by like these rivals. These rivals people like
them people don't know football for real. They don't.
Some of them ain't never played.
You know what I'm saying? These
most people who do the recruiting and writing articles and stuff like that, they never played. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
Right.
But some of the best coaches never played either as well. They just know the game from a different perspective and have that type of basketball IQ sense. They can build relationships with the players and stuff like that. But again, we said that's a piece that is missing in our culture is relationship building.
I think it's just a really tricky situation when you're talking about transferring. And like I said, it just really just depend on your situation because some people are falsely evaluated, lied to during the recruitment process, and they forced to go to other places. And they realize when they get to those other places, like, damn, I really don't like it. Like, and they try to make a decision to leave, but then they got to really weigh out, like, okay, is it good to leave? Is it not good to leave? If I do decide to put myself in the transfer portal, once you put your name in the transfer portal, it's out there. Mm-hmm. So it's like, damn, now that it's out there, like what schools are actually going to want me? Like it's a lot of things that you got to think about, and that's the scary part.
Yeah, some coaches out there, they'll tell you anything to fill that spot because especially with football, it's about them numbers. In football, people going to get hurt, so they need to have a depth chart.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
First, second, and third.
Right.
If they lower the depth chart, they're going to go find a kid. Hey, man, come on. Yeah, you can play with us. You're going to be able to play right away. And when they get there, it's like, well, damn, I can't even, I can't even get a chance. Coach what's wrong? Coach don't mess with me no more.
Have you ever been in a situation where the team did not want you there anymore and they try to put you in situations where you force yourself to leave?
I know people who have been in situations like that where they're like, or they had like real conversations with the coach. Like, you have end of the year meetings and stuff like that. And they just like, this not working out.
Mm-hmm. And that's good. That's cool though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But
or make you look bad.
Right.
That's wild. I've had situations where
I've been in that situation.
But I've known people.
I've literally been in that situation and like this, like I don't care. Like I've been in that situation when I was at NC State. Like when I broke my foot. First of all, I didn't have a great relationship with my coach. You know what I'm saying? It was things that I need to learn when I came in, not really being coachable. So I'm going to go ahead and take my ownership of that, not really being coachable. But then I also didn't respect how I was being treated as a player because it's like I want to be great. Like I want to be good. Like it's not like I'm over here doing drugs. I'm not like putting the team in a bad situation. Like
you wasn't a bad kid.
Yeah, we just don't have a great – me and him don't have a great relationship. But when I came back, it was like I told him I'm going to earn my way to play. Like, I don't want you to give me nothing. But we didn't have a great relationship.
So why didn't y'all have a good relationship?
Like I said, it was just the chemistry. Like, one, you got to think about it. I redshirted my freshman year. Yeah. My second year, I broke my foot, and I did not play. I wasn't on the field for a year and a half. So you
so
got
he kind of thinking of you as like almost like a dag. That
Yeah.
could have been somebody else. Like
Right.
You're taking up a roster
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you looking at a kid that literally has not done anything for the organization for 2 years, they figuring out how to get you out. On top of that, with those 2 years, we did not have a great relationship, player to coach, right? So when I finally come back, it's everybody else time. I'm still trying to earn my keep, but I don't respect how he coming at me as a person because I want to be great, right? Yeah. So I was basically about to either be forced to leave or take a medical scholarship due to my injury. And there was a point where the doctor said, hey, look, oh, yeah, we don't think that you're going to be, like, able to play football no more. And I'm like, how you going to tell me I'm not able to play football no more? Like, how you going to do that? So I said, look, you can't tell me that I can't play football just because you've read some little statements from the physical therapist and all that. I said, you're going to have to come watch me practice. They said if you limp at any moment, like, you're done. So that practice, right, God working mysterious ways. My tire got flat, so I ended up coming to practice late, but the doctor was there. When the doctor came, he came at the time that we had, like, one-on-ones. So, I broke my left foot. When it was time to do one-on-ones, I usually go on the left side so I can lean on my right foot because that's the good foot. My coach made me lean on my left foot because, that was the bad foot. So one of my homeboys, they knew everything that was going on. So, like, I got riled up. He's like, man, look, do your thing, bro. Like, you already know what they doing. So, like, every drill that I had to do, I did it on my right side so I could lean on my left foot because eventually I would start limping. But my adrenaline kicked in so much that I didn't. So I went to the doctor and I was like, I told you I could play. So they was like, yo, like, I can't do nothing. Like, I can't tell this kid he disqualified because I literally just watched him practice. So they was pissed. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't a bad kid. So it wasn't like I can get forced to transfer because I'm not a bad kid. I can actually play football. Film showed I could play football. So it's like, damn, what about the kids that's put in situations where they're damn near forced to say, you know what, I can't do this no more. I want to leave, or they got to take the medical scholarship. Like, that's crazy.
As a player, how did that make you feel though? Like unwanted, or I mean, I understand that you're mentally tough, but it's like, how did you want to stay after a situation like that where your coach is against you to the point where they would make you not succeed?
Bro, what's crazy? I don't know because even I still stayed after 3 years. Like, after that, I still stayed another 3 years. But I guess you could say going into college, I always looked at it as a business. And I was like, hey, look, I'm going to get everything I need to get out of this program just in case I need to leave. So I already had it in my head. I'm going to graduate in 3 years so I can transfer and go somewhere else and don't have to sit out. I already had it in my head. But when it was time to actually make that decision, I was weighing out the pros and cons. I don't have any film. So if I leave, where I'm going to go? I'm going to go to a D2 school and what? Like, so I had to weigh out the pros and cons. Look at the resources that I have at this university. Look at the people that I'm meeting. Like, look at all of the things that I'm able to do at this university and still have a chance to play. Because God works in mysterious ways. If God wants you to play, or if anybody in your higher power wants you to play, you're going to play, depending on your situation. Like, can't nobody stop you from your calling. So I had to think about that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the man route. I'm not going to leave. And just hope everything work out. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's for me, it's not going to pass me. And somebody going to see me from a game, or they going to see me from something and be like, nah, this dude got potential. Like, let's go ahead and give him a shot. But that's scary, though.
Yeah, no, it is scary, especially like when a new coaching staff comes in football.
Oh, yeah. Don't even talk about that. When they clear house, they want new players, too. They want the players that they want to recruit.
Right. They bring that new staff in. Like, if a kid wasn't productive for, like, 2 or 3 years, I've heard stories where they said, like, the coach literally told me, like, we don't see any use for you here. Like, I think you need to look elsewhere. Like, they just tell them straight up, like, pretty much you suck.
Right.
Yeah. And
I think that's fair though.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's fair. Like,
He keeping it real though.
Yeah, he keeping it real.
He keeping it real, but instead of like putting him in a bad environment where he want to leave, it's like you basically forcing that man to have the mindset like, damn, like, I need to leave. I need to go.
I need to get out of here.
Like, no, bro. Like, just keep it real. Sit him down and be like, hey, look, to be honest, you're a great player, but you don't really work in this system.
Yeah.
Let me help you find where to go. I would like I
Some
know
people
other
don't help,
coaches.
though. That's
But
the
some
thing.
coaches don't do that though.
they
Some
don't.
coaches will let the kids sit there and they'll call them all types of names and treat them all different
Yeah.
type of ways. Like
Facts.
college coaching is vicious.
It is.
It's
And I
vicious.
give much respect to my new defensive line coach because when they changed the defense, I was sick because I was like, yo, this don't fit me. Right. And he told me, he was like, look, man, I respect you a lot. You know what I'm saying? I would help you find somewhere to go. But because I've been at NC State for so long and I realized all of the benefits of going there, I was like, I'm going to just have faith that it's all going to work out. I'm going to just have faith that it's all going to work out. And for granted, it did not during the season. It didn't. But still being able to have an opportunity to play and stuff like that, it kind of did in a way. It's like because God is not going to allow anything or anybody stop me from what's truly my calling. So, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to transfer at some point too. I truly did. After my sophomore year, I was just like, yeah. And then, like you said, weigh the pros and cons. I was like, I'm about to graduate. I graduated as a junior, so I was like, I'm gonna graduate. I got my master's degree when I was a senior, so I was like, I mean, what's the point? And then, you know, with a player like yourself, probably like myself as well, like, people at the school loved me so much, like my professors and you know, the people like behind the scenes. Like when you're not out there or something like that, like they know the real. Like when like some people
100%.
like see, they be like, that's something's going on internally there because they know like she can hoop or he can do whatever or whatever.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, that's how I felt about it. And like my professors would like come to my games and stuff like that and like cheer me on. And like I was in a communications program and they put on like the programs, they put on our live stream or whatever. And they would always like talk to me and stuff like after the games or whatever. So I didn't not play. Like I played, you know, I felt like I could have played more. And I started and stuff like that too. But it was just like, you know, college stuff, certain things you can get away with or whatever.
Right.
But it was the fact of the matter is, I don't know if you wanted to bring up the academic piece again.
Yeah.
I thought about that much more. I was like, this basketball, it ain't going too much further, but this education, like, I might as well finish it out. Like, I don't know how my credits will roll over or how far I would have to catch up to be at a different school. Like, I was just like, I didn't want to go through the stress of that. Yeah. But it was like, and I didn't even think of the fact, like, after my junior year, I already had graduated undergrad. I'm like, I could go play my fourth year somewhere else. Like, I didn't even think of that. Like, that just wasn't even a factor to me.
Yeah. And speaking back on the education part, I've really got 2 points. The first point, for real, that people really don't take a look into when they go from high school to college is they don't realize that there are some schools out there. I was fortunate enough at Maryland. They had a contract, within the contract of me signing my letter of intent, where if I was to get hurt and never be able to play again, medically retired by a doctor, that they would still honor my scholarship until I get my degree and be on full scholarship. So, and it's a lot of colleges out there that don't do that, but there are very few that do. So, speaking of high school recruits, make sure y'all look into them contracts, really, you know what I'm saying, figure out, hey, you got to think about the future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sports ain't going to last for long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about your future. Your education is so important. Got to get that education, got to get that degree. And if you are at a school and you want to transfer, you also have to think about, like you said before, you was close to getting your degree, so it was no point in leaving. But if you do want to transfer, you need to make sure that school will, the other institution will accept your credits.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's an institution.
Right.
At the end of the day, like it's sports is sports, yes, but college is an institution. You're there to learn.
Right.
So the other school is not going to care if you was, you know, a 4-star athlete in high school, and they just going, okay, well, accept your credits. No, they don't do that. Right. And I know a kid right now who transferred from one school to the next, and now technically he's a freshman all over again because the school couldn't accept his credits.
You know what's crazy, bro? When you go to a school and they try to tell you the class that you need to take, and a lot of classes be all
I've
free
heard
electives.
stories about that.
I'd be like, first of all, when I went and came into NC State, bro, and I was a little hard-headed, but in a good way, because I knew what I wanted, and I was already in my degree. I always looked at my portal. Always looked at the class that I needed to take towards my degree. So I wasn't about to allow anybody to tell me, like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead, take music, take jazz, take history. I'm like, bro, none of these classes go towards my degree. Why are you making me take these? Like, you're not.
Jazz.
You can't tell.
I took a jazz
take
class.
jazz.
Why?
Why?
It was an elective though. I needed it.
Yeah.
It's the Harlem Renaissance.
I think that's not like what we was learning about.
Bro, like I didn't understand that, bro. I'm like I understand y'all just want me to be eligible. Y'all want me to be available to play and make sure I get the grades that y'all need. Like, you know what I'm saying? But why are you making me take these classes, bro? So when it comes time for my 3rd or 4th year, I'm like, bro, I got like 35 credits I gotta take. I'm like, I'm not about to graduate. I'm not about to graduate. Unless I get into grad school, I get another year to play football. I'm not about to graduate. I'm gonna have to come back and pay for these classes.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro, I hate
That and the fact that, like you said about kids wanting to get in and get out and get to the bag. Well, there's a lot of kids out there now that be like, man, I'll let the academic advisor just pick my classes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get in and get it out.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
That don't make sense. Like, why are you allowing them to tell you what you need to take? If you're an adult coming into an institution and you're an adult now, you're leaving your parents, you should be able to look at your portal.
About the degree, and some coaches understand that some players aren't going there for the degree. Like we said, it's a business. What have you done for me lately? Some is trying to go, and this is specifically for basketball. Like, I don't even know what goes on in like baseball and other sports like that. I have no idea what their transfer portal looks like or if it's an issue or not. So I'm not speaking on them. Basketball and football wise though, if you know and you're a top prospect, like you can leave or declare for the draft. And don't get me started how you can go to the draft or you can train for the draft now, as long as you don't sign an agent, and then you can go back to school if it don't work out. For basketball.
I'm telling you, bro, it's
Like a
wicked.
win-win.
You know what I mean?
crazy.
So that's why the education piece is not important to some, because they understand that they're not going there for long. That's like John Wall, and he's doing great, but graduated, but his mom's thing before she passed was she wanted him to get a degree. So he went back to school and got his stuff, but he also knew he was going to the league.
Yeah.
So them classes don't
But he
matter.
knew from high school.
He was
That's-
doing what he could
Right.
do to get
Like,
by.
I'm going to league. But like I think a lot of people in high school, a lot of these people probably the best players on their team, so they all got that mindset like, man, I'm about to go to college, cook, and I'm going to league.
Until you
but
get
then
to the
you
team.
get to college and you like, oh,
Dang, he better than me.
It's some seniors and stuff
like
like
that.
I'm not
What's going on?
going. Yeah, it's like, but everybody feels like that, like going into college, like it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. You didn't, went through the competition where you live at in your area. If you played on a national scale, like you was on Ball is Life and Overtime and all these other outlets and stuff like that. You feel like you're him. And I feel like that also puts a different type of pressure on kids as well, which is why if they don't perform at one place, maybe that's why they go to the next as well.
Yeah.
And then you can't have that mindset of go to college, I'm going to get the bag, I'm going to go to the league, I'm going to ball out. Goes all back to show you that it's not for long. What happens if you get hurt? So you have that same poor mentality. You don't care what classes you take. So you take that same poor mentality even though you're an older person, you're still not grown on the inside mentally. So therefore, you have bad financial habits. You blow all your money, and now you're broke with no degree, and you know what I'm saying, nothing.
No degree
It
and a
starts
blue
with the
check.
parents and the recruit, whoever your guardian or whatever in the recruiting process. They got to prepare you for that. Like, how can we expect a high school athlete to know that? Like, all right, I got to, they should. I'm not going to say you shouldn't know, but, you should have an idea of it. But, like, that's when the parents kind of enforce that. I know my peoples, they ain't know nothing about sports.
True.
My mom ain't know nothing about sports, but she knew, like, when I went on my visit, I remember all her questions was about school. All my questions was about
who?
basketball. I asked my coach, I'm like, yeah, all right, what I said? I said, what system we run? He said 4 out. All right, cool, spread. That's for me. Cool. He said, yeah, fast break, fast pace. Okay, that's for me. My mother, you have any questions, miss? Yeah. So what degrees you gonna get? My mom. She just she up there like, yeah, okay. Okay. Do you guys have study hall? Like, do y'all have an academic advisor? Like, who is she? Do they work with the team? Like, You feel me? So I feel like the parents got to play their part in the situation too. Because if I'm a kid and I'm nice, bro, and I'm not really, honestly, bro, I wasn't thinking about school. Like, you feel me? Like, even if I went to a D2 school as well, but I still wasn't thinking about academics. Like,
Well, think about how many kids go to schools as well because of their AAU team has a relationship with coaches at the universities.
Now that is a That
Cruel.
is actually crazy.
You plug like you're going
You're
to
plugged in.
Villanova.
And that's what,
you know why?
That's a
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna hold on. We got to talk about this because these brands, bruh.
Yeah,
These
Nike,
brands
Nike
are
teams
Nike,
gotta go to a Nike
Adidas.
school. You
Yeah.
played
Just
on
think,
that
bruh.
Adidas outlet or what is it, the Gauntlet or whatever for
the
Adidas.
Damn, I
Got to
forgot.
go to a school that's Adidas.
But you think about
It's a
think
real
about
thing.
the players that be signing with these brands when they get to that level, when they make it pro. Think about what school they went to. Think about what AAU teams they play for. It's the same brand, bruh. It's the same brand. It's like a takeover. Just think about takeover teams. They all go to Nike schools. Yeah. So it's just like, you feel me? It's like a you on that train, right? You know it. It's pretty much made for you. I'm not gonna say it's made for you, but like they putting down little cookies,
And all you gotta do is just get it.
Follow the road.
Get it.
You feel me?
Just get
but
it.
what happens when you gotta turn off? Yeah, and you messed up. You're in a position where you're in the transfer portal.
Exactly. And that is what happens. That's literally because you went to a school that your AAU coach told you to go to, or you got advice from. It didn't work out for you. You wasn't really the player for that system, but you're doing the coach there a favor, and that helps you get more kids from the program. And now y'all have this relationship and stuff like that. And what if the kid don't turn out to be what you thought he was going to be? Then now you messing with the AAU team and some more stuff. So it's a lot of different loopholes, like you said, that goes into these things. So the transfer portal and stuff is wild as a whole. And like we said, there's no one factor that goes into kids transferring. I'm not against it, just because I can't say I know everybody's situation. It just goes back to that from the jump. But I wanted to read a few more tweets. So we have Arike Agumbawale played at Notre Dame, hit that big-time shot for them to win the championship. She said, these new kids different with this transfer and stuff. I remember I thought I was all that my freshman year and didn't play as much as I would have liked. So I told my parents I wanted to leave. They told me to shut up, and that was the end of the convo. And I mean, it worked out for her. 2 years later, she hit that big shot for Notre Dame to win the Natty or whatever. We have a few more that I wanted to read, but I might not be able to find it.
I also think we found the law.
We did.
Utilize the system.
Don't let the system use you.
Hey, we here with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously though, man.
For real. And I think that just go for everybody. Players, coaches, parents, like utilize the system. Don't let the system use you, because at the end of the day, it is a system, it is a business, and you need to play the game within the game, to be honest.
Learn it first.
Yeah, learn it.
Learn it. Don't watch it. Because what you see, you can't do with, you feel me?
Everything you see is not really what it is. It's deeper than that, bro. It's really
you can't do what the dude at Kentucky do if you at Morgan State. Like, it's just, it's two different worlds. But
right.
And then I want to say too, like, with social media and all that stuff and media in general now, Last Chance U is a popular show, am I right?
Right.
And what are they? JUCO teams.
Right.
So coaches are now looking at junior colleges. So now there's an underlying competition factor when it comes to kids who want to transfer from them universities that they don't like, thinking they're going to have a shot. But I was at Maryland. They was looking for some JUCO guys.
What would you rather have, though? Would you rather have a JUCO player who got experience at the college level, who's already physical? Because you said football, right, is a difference.
They didn't have to
the
sit
difference
out
when you
that
transition.
year.
Yeah.
Basketball player is easy to transition, but football, coming from high school to college, the physicality is way different.
Yeah.
So, like, you would rather have a JUCO player than a high
as a
school
coach, I'd take, I said in this sense right here, if you have a spot that you want to be filled, right? Say if, your star linebacker was a senior this year, he graduated, so he's gone. Now, when it comes to that, I take a JUCO kid because he's ready right now, and I need somebody right now. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to develop, because that's an important position. You need a little bit of time, because the middle linebacker at the end of the day is the captain, the quarterback on the defensive side of the ball. So I need somebody to develop right now, so I can't have a whole bunch of young guys out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With no leadership, because none of them know how to lead because they don't have no experience yet. You have to have experience to be a leader.
Right.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to that sense, yeah, I take the JUCO guy. But if it's, okay, I get a JUCO guy, then I'll get a a young high school guy, so that way he can learn under the JUCO guy.
He might beat him out.
Yeah.
He might beat him out.
So, but I always want to have somebody with more experience in that top high level position more because they know they've seen it. They have more wisdom. They know how to lead. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, that young guy can learn underneath them.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, and I feel like in basketball, it's easier to have a young squad out there for 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores. Like, you see that all the time. But like you said, that has more so to do with, like, IQ and if you can hoop and stuff like that. You don't have to physically be it. We see my girl Paige Becker. She can hoop, but physically, she not up there yet, which is cool. She'll develop that over time, only a freshman. But I definitely think it's 2 different ball clubs when it comes to that. So we got any other closing remarks before we pull out the special?
I mean, to be honest, I would just say for all of the athletes, just really weigh out the pros and cons of your situation and really just ask yourself, like, is it really worth doing it? And talk to your parents about it. Don't just make decisions on your own, because some people make a lot of decisions based off emotion and not really strategically think, like, how is my situation going? How is my decision going to help out? Is because with every decision you make, there's consequences. Everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's things that you're going to lose with every decision that you make. So, like I said, utilize the system. Don't let the system use you. And that is very important, especially when you're dealing with going into the transfer portal and anything else for that matter. But we definitely got a special gift for you, my man, for just coming out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, he already got the red shirt on with the red shoes. So now you got a red bag.
What's in the bag? What's in the bag?
Yeah, man.
So let me see what we got here. I said, young man, we got.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
We got our headphones.
All
Okay.
right. Hey,
I don't know if
You
you
play
play
the game? You play Call of Duty?
do a little Madden, Call of Duty sometimes. Yeah.
Do you be
Yeah.
talking
not
on the
good.
headset to people?
Yeah,
I be
he ain't
talking
good.
trash in Madden now.
He may be okay.
You got the
I'm
headphones.
trash at it, so it don't even
Yeah.
matter. And then you got a
Alright.
nice little no card and stuff.
You got a new card.
All right.
And the
Appreciate
T-shirt
y'all.
that's on the way.
Wasn't trying to mention that.
I'm looking in the bag like, damn. God damn, what a T-shirt. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
but
appreciate y'all, man, for having me on again. One closing remarks I just want to say, if y'all have a high power, keep that power first. Keep your faith. Education is important. It's important at the end of the day. I would not be where I am right now if it wasn't for education. I'm a medically retired student athlete. I had double knee surgery. Both my cartilages were gone on my knees. I had an ACL tear too at the same time, and I never got to play college football. So that education is important. It's important. It's important to be able to speak, articulate your words well. It's important to have a strong mind. It's just important. The education is everything. That's all I got to say.
that's what's up, man.
law right there.
That's law. That's law.
Take up a handshake. Ready to go make a handshake.